Greetings, Mandrake the Magician fans. I have good news for you. We now have available Mandrake the Magician, The King Years, Volume 1. As you're already aware, Hermes Press has been publishing the Phantom since 2009, and we have a number of Phantom books in print, including 9 volumes of dailies, 2 volumes of Sundays. A third volume has been solicited by Diamond and is being printed and on the way. We have our Phantom Archive, which is the first 6 story continuities in a full-size format. Not to mention our comic book reprints of the Phantom, which include all of the Gold Key, the King, and all of the Charlton comics, which we're concluding very shortly with the Don Newton version of the Phantom, which is one of the best. Not to mention our brand new comic book series of new Phantom stories written by writer extraordinaire Peter David and incomparable artist Sal Velluto, with colors by Eugenio Mattozzi. But let's focus on Mandrake. Over the years, a lot of fans of the Phantom, who are also Lee Falk fans, therefore they like Mandrake, have said, why doesn't Hermes Press publish the classic daily and Sunday comic strips from Mandrake? And the answer is quite simple. Another company has the rights to do that, and my understanding is they're doing an extraordinary job in preparing the books, and they should be available sometime this year. But we picked up the rights to do the Mandrake the Magician King comic books, and quite frankly, they're phenomenal. They were done during the mid-60s. What you're seeing here is the cover for Mandrake the Magician number 4, the comic book number 4, which was done by Andre LeBlanc, who was a very, very fine, underrated comic artist who did a lot of the work in this book. Also, Fred Fredericks, who took over the Phantom and did the strip, also did stories in this book. But one of the things that's fascinating about the Phantom stories was King Features went out and hired a number of artists from different companies who worked for instance, Marvel. And the first book in this book, which is obviously issue number 1, has a fantastic cover by Don Heck. And Don Heck was, of course, the artist who did Iron Man first. He did Tales of Suspense 39, which is the first appearance of Iron Man. But more importantly, he worked for Marvel, and he did a lot of stories for Marvel. And if you look at the way that this story, which is the issue number 1, is paced and drawn, it has the same flavor of a classic 60s Marvel story. There are 2 stories in this book. The second story, and many of the stories in this book were taken from strip continuities and then rewritten for comic books. And some of the stories are completely original. Get a load of this page, though. This page is straight out of X-Men in terms of its pacing, its tone, its look, and its energy. But this is in Mandrake the Magician. So when you're reading these stories, you're going to get a real classic 60s Silver Age feeling for these stories because they're intelligently written. They have one of the great detective heroes, Mandrake the Magician, and Lothar, who's much more than a sidekick. We got some emails of concern when we showed the cover of the book. Where's Lothar? Lothar's on the back. And for the next volume of the Mandrake the Magician King feature comic book reprints, we do have Lothar and Mandrake on the cover. This is a preview of what's to come for the second volume of Mandrake the Magician. But this book has it all. This book has excitement, it has mystery, it has adventure, it has well-paced, well-written stories, it has stories based on classic strips, it has original stories created just for the comic books. We, of course, have our classic flawless reproduction, our archival quality, not to mention an informative essay and a rather lengthy and informative interview with Fred Fredericks, who took over the Phantom. And was the second artist on the Phantom until the end of the series. And of course, we have some original artwork in here. We have the backup stories from Flash Gordon, the three backup stories. And then for the last backup story, we have all of the original art, so you can compare the original art with the actual printed comic book story. So, if you like the Phantom and you like Lee Falk, you will love Mandrake the Magician. If you love Doctor Strange, who owes a lot to Mandrake the Magician, you'll love Mandrake the Magician. If you love Silver Age comics, you'll love Mandrake the Magician. There's just no way you're not going to love Mandrake the Magician. the complete series, The King Years Volume 1. So I would urge you to rush out and go to your local comic book stores and buy it. It'll be available in a month. Go to Amazon.com and buy it. You can go to our website and buy it. You can buy it on lots of different websites. We, of course, always encourage people primarily to go to their comic book stores and to buy the book directly from your comic book store. But if you can't, there are other venues you can get it at. So, without further ado, here's the cover. You take the cover off, and you have our classic printed laminated cover, so you don't have to wreck your dust jacket. We have end leaves, which show Mandrake and Lothar in Another Mystery. All together, a fantastic Mandrake package. So, get ready for Mandrake the Magician. Any questions? Call us, or email us at info@hermespress.com, or email me personally at daniel@hermespress.com. I always like hearing from fans. That's it for now. Bye-bye.